welcome back to our channel, We're the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And here is our non-spoiler review for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is directed by J.A. Bayona, and it stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Ted Levine, James Cromwell, and Jeff Goldblum. 3 years has passed since the Jurassic World theme park was destroyed by dinosaurs. Now it is in danger in being completely destroyed by a volcano. Owen and Claire reunites to return to the island to save Blue and the rest of the dinosaurs. Now, before we jump into this non-spoiler review, did you enjoy Jurassic World?
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I thought so too. So for this one, even though it is not by Colin Trevorrow, it is now by J.A. Bayona, I was kind of like, alright, I gave it a chance. That was a little hot and cold with the trailers. Like, I wasn't sure what tone they were going for. One had this, like, horror element that J.A. is known for, and I thought, okay. And then another one, it was just, it seemed very, like, basically a whole different direction. So I kind of didn't know where to take that. And I will say it like this. I thought the first 10 minutes of the movie was really, really solid. It honestly reminded me of the very first Jurassic Park movie where they're all gathering and they're trying to load in the dinosaurs. And then it was the shoot ha. And it was kind of intense. And I felt not quite as good, because nothing can compare, but I felt the same kind of tension and
same kind of nostalgia.
Yeah, and the intensity and everything, and I thought it started off on a really strong, solid note, and I was really excited, and I was along for the ride. What about you?
I felt none of that.
Oh.
I felt none of the nostalgia at the beginning. I was sitting down, and with what there was going on, you're sitting there going, wait, why are they doing this? Why are they doing it this way? If they're going in there to save the dinosaurs or something, why are they entering like this? I was like, oh, well, this is going to happen, and it did.
Yeah.
And then you were like, then it continues a little bit more, and you're like, okay, well, now this is going to happen, and it did.
So what I am hearing is that the movie to you was predictable.
Very predictable on what it was going to happen, how it was going to kind of turn out, and even the characters, how the characters were going to react, how the storyline was going to unfold. I found it very predictable, and in the beginning they did kind of have a nice little, like, adventure film kind of vibe to it.
I agree.
They're going to the island. They're going to save the dinosaurs. Bad things happen.
Like the volcano.
Like the volcano and some other bad things that we can't talk about. And that ended very quickly. It was not that long of a movie. And also, what is it? In that beginning part, they had the discussion, should we save the dinosaurs? And you had this moment of Jeff Goldblum in there, and he's talking about it. If you're expecting Jeff Goldblum to have a big role in this movie, you're going to be very disappointed. It is very, very small. Almost to the point to where what they did for this...
No?
Well, I'm telling you, that they advertise it as, starring Jeff Goldblum. It's not.
Well,
I'm not going to tell you how much of it he's in there, but it's not that much at all. Okay,
I completely agree with you. That's a super valid point, but I also think they have to put starring because he is a prominent character from the previous movie, so it's kind of like... They
hardly address that, though, even.
Well...
So I just found that frustrating, that they've kind of used a bait and switch in the advertising.
As far as his role goes.
And as far as his role goes. But then, right after they finally do their thing on the island, it takes a completely different flip.
Wait, before you go on. So you were talking about the first part of the movie.
Yeah.
You said it was very much like an adventure film, and I felt like that kind of is in line with what I said in the very beginning, where I really enjoyed the first 10 minutes. And while dealing with the volcano and all that stuff, it was very action-packed. I actually really, really, really like, I would say almost the first half of the movie, I was like, this is like solid, fun adventure. Not as good as Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I felt the same thing you felt, where felt like these characters, like I really liked Chris Pratt in the first one. And I felt this one, he was really not utilized that well. Honestly, for such a funny and interesting actor as Chris Pratt is, his character became a little boring, and I think maybe that falls in line with what you said about the movie being predictable. So then we move onto the second. Okay, sorry.
Normally in the first Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt had good chemistry, and it was fun to watch them. Yeah. There was none of that in this movie, and there was actually no characters at all that I would sit down and be like, that's a cool character. I want to see more from that character. Most of them were very flat, very one-dimensional. I was not excited about any of them at all.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this because I think in the trailer a lot of people figured it out. There is a lot of genetically engineered dinosaurs involved in this movie, and that plays more heavily towards the second part of the movie. So that's where it becomes really a little messy, a little convoluted for me, where they're trying to shove in so much in the time frame that it just became the story was lost. Yeah. The story was lost, and they kept on trying to bring it back, and I think they were trying to do too much. They wanted to really hone in on the nostalgia of the movie, where they had certain scenes that very much resonated, certain scenes from the original Jurassic Park, which is a nice nod, but when you saw it, you didn't feel that way. You were just kind of like, okay, so you're relying on what people loved from the very first one, and you're using it again, and it just didn't really quite work for me. I would say the good part about the movie is the dinosaurs are cool. Yeah. Whether they are... you know, like the original dinosaurs, if you will, like the T-Rexes and stuff like that, were the genetically altered ones, the ones that they built, you know, they created. Like, they looked cool, and the way they moved, and, you know, like, if you're going in, I would say, for this movie, and you want to see just, like, dinosaurs running around and, like, destroying things and everybody being frantic, I think if that's the mind frame that you have, you will enjoy it. But I think if you went in and you want... even if it's just a good continuation of Jurassic World, I think you're going to be disappointed, because I was. Yeah, the storyline, it's not a good continuation. It's kind of like they didn't know which kind of movie they wanted to do. So the first half was kind of like the adventure idea, and then the second half was kind of like the whole horror movie idea. They try to take some things from the first one to be like, they really do try to do that nostalgia thing, but I think it felt completely flat. Didn't work. And it just didn't work, and there was... just no good characters to really attach to. And then they make, like, the exact same mistakes over and over and over. And there are sometimes they make... it's like the really bad horror movie trope, where you're sitting there going, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you so stupid? Oh, no. Kind of thing. Yeah. And it's kind of like they did these things just so the dinosaur could get loose. Or so this bad thing could happen. Yeah. And it just drove me nuts. For the purpose of moving the story forward and not actually serving the story itself. Exactly. Well, with that said, Dustin, why don't you go ahead and give your rating? I'm going to give this movie a skip it. Ooh. I did not like this movie. I was not interested in any of the characters. I did not like the storyline. I don't think they were... they tackled it... they did not tackle it in a logical way. So it's like they did all of these things just to make it so the bad things would happen and they would have problems. And it just... I'm not interested in seeing... if someone said, hey, you can see it for free again, I'd be like, nah. Wow, sick bird. I feel like I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did. I honestly really did like that opening sequence. I really, really liked the first half of the movie, and so for that, I'm going to give it a rent it. I don't feel like you need to go into like an IMAX or whatever and pay the money, even though the dinosaurs look cool, and to pay it to see it on the big screen. But if you like the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise, and you want to watch it because you are a fan of it, but you're unsure, I would say go ahead and wait for that DVD release and check it out then. Well, you guys, that's it for this non-spoiler review. Go ahead and comment below what you thought of the movie and what your expectations are going in. If you haven't seen it yet, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and continue to support this channel on Patreon. We'll see you in the next video.